Ladies and gents, welcome back. It is a sad state of affairs when we cannot have a dialogue in this country. And, well, in the middle of an election, you think it would be unheard of to arrest journalists that ask tough questions. But that's where we are, ladies and gents. Here we have it from the Counter Signal. Journalist detained and charged for attending Notley press conference. Keean Bexte, editor-in-chief of this outlet, the Counter Signal, has been detained and charged after refusing to leave a press conference hosted by Alberta NDP leader Rachel Notley in the middle of an election, a press conference where she's there to answer questions. Keean Bexte, here he is, of the editor-in-chief of the Counter Signal. NDP announcement was delayed by nearly an hour while the political staff decided how to proceed after demanding Keean Bexte leave the press conference. Only Bexte was asked to leave. Bexte refused to comply with the order until police were called and escorted him out. Rightfully so. I mean, this is supposed to be the public discourse for the public office of Premier of Alberta. This is insane to hear that this is where we're at now. Police detained Bexte and criminally charged him with trespassing. God, this is where we are. Prior to being escorted out by police, Bexte was told by political staff to give his question to one of them, and they said they would try to relay the question to Notley. And this is after, you know, several times we've seen in the past where they're taking the playbook right out of Justin Trudeau's playbook of refusing to answer questions to particular news outlets because they happen to ask hard questions, or you know, maybe don't lean the political way that, you know, these politicians would like. But you have to understand that, well, it looks like more than half the population at this point of Alberta does not lean the way Rachel Notley leans. So here it is. But here's an email that went out for readers of the Counter Signal. This one saying, Clyde, Rachel Notley has had me detained and charged for refusing to leave her press conference. If you want emails like this, just sign up for the Counter Signal. You'll receive these emails as well. He says, it's ironic, yes, but having a journalist frog marched out of a press conference is horrifying more than anything. And I would have to agree with this. We should all be able to have access to people who are running for public office. And if you don't like tough questions, well, SOL, too bad. You're going to have to deal with them. You can answer them however you like, but refusing outright and then ejecting and calling the police on journalists who ask these tough questions is probably not the right move. I cover political stories around the world, from Hong Kong to the Netherlands, yet the only place I've been charged for being a journalist is here in Calgary, Canada. The alt-left extremist, Rachel Notley, demanded that I be dragged out of this press conference before she would start it. That's how scared she is of me and the work the Counter Signal is doing. Pathetic. And the email goes on. Let's be clear. This is the behavior of a communist. And Alberta, at the serious risk of electing this dictator, it should not be a crime to be a journalist. In Alberta, absolutely, it should not be a crime. Now, a lot of people chiming in on Twitter. Rachel Emmanuel saying, breaking, the Alberta NDP is delaying their press conference with leader Rachel Notley because the Counter Signal editor-in-chief Keean Bexte is here and wants to ask the former premier a question. A press release announcing the event says media are welcome to attend. And here's the scene where they're telling him, you got to get out of here. You can't stick around. There's another one here from the Counter Signal where he tweeted out the scene at the scene.
Accredited media, so you're not welcome at this point.
I actually am accredited.
No, I know you have a plaque, a plastic piece around your neck, but you're not welcome here, and we'd like to ask you to leave.
That's going to be tough because I have some questions for Rachel.
Well, we'd like to ask you to leave. You're not welcome here.
Well, take that into consideration. Okay. You can go back to your job.
Are you saying you're not going to leave?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have some questions.
So we'd like you to leave now. All right. Not welcome to ask questions at this event. You're not accredited media.
Why am I not welcome to ask questions?
We'd like to ask you to leave.
What's accredited media? That's just whoever we say is accredited, I guess. This is the reality of the situation. More people chiming in. Marty Up North saying Rachel Notley has blocked all the influential accounts on Twitter. Now she's using the police to expel anyone who tries to ask her tough questions in person. Unbelievable. And here's the footage of him being escorted out of the event here. Rachel Emmanuel, this is the previous tweet that I showed. Keean Bexte taking to Twitter to say, "I feel sick. Canada is dying." And well, this is the situation that we're in now. She was asked about this, or she made an announcement talking about why it was so late to get started, and here she is.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you everybody for your patience. As many of you here know, we had to remove a protester, but I'm very pleased that we were able to have folks stick around. Thank you, Joe.
A protester. So anybody who's a journalist that asks tough questions now is a protester. She was actually grilled on this, asked, can you actually elaborate on this? Can you tell us more about why you wouldn't have this individual, this journalist, at your press conference?
For you, just to address, so again, this is, I think, the second or third time on the campaign where your press conference has been delayed by up to nearly an hour. Have you been told by your team or anyone on why maybe this is the best course of action to delay these press conferences when these types of instances happen, or is there maybe a better way to potentially do this? Maybe take the question, but maybe not answer it.
Well, you know, it really depends. So I'm happy to present myself to everybody in the media, even those that come from
everybody, right?
a very conservative background and have a very pointed perspective in terms of the questions that they ask. There is one media outlet that fits that description that I've been very clear we will not take questions from until they retract the hate speech that they published with respect to one of our caucus members. The protester today does not fit that description. The protester today is a protester, has a record of acting like a protester, regardless of what he may or may not call himself, and has a clear association with white supremacist groups. And so the answer is no. No.
For you,
Rachel Notley taking a page out of the Little Golden Book, Everyone I Don't Like is Hitler, a child's guide to online political discussion, here, claiming that Keean Bexte unsubstantiatedly is white supremacist somehow, and says hate speech, publishes hate speech, to which she didn't give an example of what that was or anything, but this is the political discourse that we have today, ladies and gents. I don't even know how to react to that. It's unbelievable. But Keean Bexte put it out there pretty good, saying, Rachel Notley said that she kicked me out today because I'm a white supremacist. I'm not, by the way, he puts in quotes. But if I was, why would her and I have why would we be such close personal friends? And of course, this is, again, you know, the joke about the guilt by association. You have a picture with somebody who you claim is this, and of course that's the big bad get you moment, right? Unbelievable. Yeah, of course. And David Perez saying there's a history lesson for those who are celebrating the muzzling of dissenting voices. For won't be long until you disagree, and when it happens, the one kicked out of the room will be yourself. The same laws that you support to silence people you disagree with can be used to silence you, dumbass. I really need to get this through their skulls. Honestly, it's difficult to watch. But hey, you want to watch something happen? Let's hear Danielle Smith answer a tough question, something that, you know, it was accusations thrown in her direction that are unfounded. She responds to it accordingly.
What would you say to Albertans who would have questions or be curious about why you think there are members of law enforcement in Alberta who should be arrested for enforcing public health orders?
Well, what I would say,
and this is in response to enforcing public health orders in the COVID-19 pandemic. So this is an old clip of hers that they're bringing up and trying to use as political fodder here. Now, here's her response.
Is that I know that the NDP are going to constantly be bringing up grainy videos of things that I've said in the past or other candidates have said, and the reason they are doing that is because Rachel Notley was the worst premier this province has ever had. They want to distract attention from the fact that 183,000 jobs were lost during her 4 years in government. People were leaving this province in droves. Investment was leaving this province in droves. Jobs were leaving this province in droves. We saw a massive increase in the amount of drug addiction, drug overdoses, and disorder on our streets. Our downtowns in both Calgary and Edmonton have been emptied out, causing major financial crises to our two cities. And on top of that, she racked up more debt than all previous Alberta premiers combined, getting us to a point where we're spending $3 billion a year on finance charges, which is preventing us from being able to use those dollars for the things that we care about. She's going to keep on doing this, and we're going to keep on talking about why we need to move Alberta forward and why we can't go back.
Thanks, everybody. That's all the time I have for today. Anybody with
Wow. So she took the opportunity for a question that was, not a popular question, something that was trying to be a gotcha, and turned it around and showed that just exactly why she would be the better premier. And that was the point of the answer there. Try that one out if you're in the situation where you're being asked tough questions. I don't think that kicking journalists out and having them arrested is a good move in the right direction for Canada. We'll see. But hey, let's leave that to you guys in the comments down below. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.